We're ready for football as the Bengals get set to do battle with the Miami Dolphins. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. And his first pass is incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Burrow looking to pass. Open man is Chase, complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
It's a nice completion and a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now it's Burrow. But he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game. And you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 44-yard line. And to give this time to the tailback. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Burrow. Quick hitter here, it's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And the Dolphins are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. Remember, Charles, this is the #1 defense in the NFL, and they prove their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, that's earned it by their play, the psychology is, okay, they're #1. They have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that that ranking was real.
And if history is any indication, when this defense gets off to a good start, look out.
Yeah, their offense plays off of them awfully well, too.
And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. So that one just a little touch pass, but it paid off quite handsomely.
Yeah, and let's face it, the quarterback loves it because it pads his stats as a completed pass for nice yardage downfield. But I like the way they get the receiver in motion. It's almost like he's running a route before he gets the football because he's got a full head of steam when the ball is popped in his direction.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Rodgers. Here's Fuller with a catch. Touchdown, Dolphins. Will Fuller, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are going to take a first quarter lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them,
breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. 66 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Burrow on play action. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw into the hands of Boyd. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 17-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Second and 12. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And this one's incomplete.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Burrow. This will be caught inside the 10. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Zach Taylor, a new breed of head coach. He's going to go for it on fourth down. They'll try and throw for it with Burrow. Complete to his tight end Sample. Touchdown Bengals. Drew Sample, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see. Great quality to have. You absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just the second drive. They've worked on these plays all week in practice. Put them to good use on that one.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Khalif Raymond now. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. He's got 1 touchdown pass already in this quarter, obviously looking for number 2, and definitely not playing the check down game.
Second and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he powers his way up past the 30. Hands it off out of the gun. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on fourth down. Jack Fox out to punt here on fourth down. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Bengals will take over here first and 10. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, an update from there. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. The Bengals drive about to get going. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again? Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big connection on that one. 35 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. These two teams all tied after one.
Here we go. Here we go. 180.
From the 35 on second down. Burrow. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 24-yard line. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
On first down, Callaway, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2, and that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8, now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Burrow. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Ready?
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now it's Burrow. Incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
McPherson's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow.
Either way.
Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. He'll get that out wide to Waddle. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Give it here to his running back. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Throw right side, going to be caught here by Waddle. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
Second and 6 at the 46-yard line.
play fake. Rodgers eluding the pressure right. He's going to let this go deep. Back over the middle. That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are going to jump back in front. Sanders on for the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now a handoff here to his running back. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
This is fielded at the 27. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5, and it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And that play goes nowhere. He's met behind the line, and a penalty flag may add insult to injury. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Rodgers going to throw. That's to Waddle on the quick slant. It's a big play, yet amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a second down here. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from, working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Picked up by Jesse Bates.
And the Bengals force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10.
He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
The Burrows throw taken in here by Chase.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down.
And they were backed up to start the drive, but not anymore. Now, that's the play call that the offensive coordinator had in his head. You saw the end result. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones.
And the Dolphins are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Well, his arm strength never an issue, but this one winds up in the wrong hands.
Oh, the coverage here is just terrific because when it's done really well, sometimes you can't distinguish whether it's the receiver or the defensive back the ball's intended for. He actually ran with him in perfect motion and able to make a big-time play.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Oh, looking for Waddle, but it's intercepted.
Picked off at the 38. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Here we go.
Burrow will throw.
And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Bengals. It's Tyler Boyd.
Tyler Boyd, his 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Bengals on just 2 plays have taken the lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And it's now 17-14.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. No run back here for Raymond. This will be a touchback.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time and ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Rodgers.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down.
Got a man, it's Waddle, complete.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw is Rodgers. He's letting this one go for Fuller.
Oh, he almost had his 2nd pick of the game. Probably should have. And he's frustrated as it falls incomplete.
Certainly no lack of aggressiveness here. They were hoping for the home run play to get them 6 points. They're hoping for a catch, maybe a call, but they figure they can at least get into field goal range with a completion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And again, it's Rodgers. Britt's got it, complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there. Shotgun now for Rodgers. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this 3rd quarter. Here's Khalif Raymond to return.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
And they trail here to begin the 2nd half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now a give, right side. Britt. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. Now it's Rodgers.
That's going to be caught by Waddle.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down? Speed is the name of the game when it comes to RPOs, and sometimes you can be a little too quick, thus inaccurate, incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. And a give this time to the tailback. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki.
And he is going to have the Dolphins' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
A run on 1st down, but it's not going to get him much, maybe a yard, and that's all.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now they try the right side here. They find some open field here. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line.
55 rushing yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
And now here's a carry heading left. And he's brought down. They're mounting a nice drive here. Good chunk of yardage there again. O-line, they've been solid this drive.
They have that look about them right now that said,
and he's going to bowl his way into the end zone for the Dolphins score. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are once again going to retake the lead. Sanders now to add the extra point. It's up and good to make it 21-17. kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard now. The intent, still the same in what they plan to do on offense.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
First down. Here's Burrow. Quick slant caught by Chase. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll run on first down. Callaway. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Bengals have answered back with a third-quarter touchdown of their own to retake the lead. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that gives him a 3-point lead.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away.
Raymond now on the return.
And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They had gotten the lead with the opening drive touchdown in the third quarter. Now they relinquished that lead back. Could be in for an interesting second half.
It certainly appears that way, doesn't it? Almost turning into one of those pendulum games, right? Where it swings back and forth, and who's going to make the play that changes that maybe it puts it on one side and keeps it there.
Good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10.
Here's Rodgers to throw.
Open man is Waddle, complete.
The 40. The 20. Touchdown.
Jalen Waddle.
79 yards.
And the Dolphins have retaken a third-quarter lead.
They erased that deficit pretty quickly, did they not? A 2-play drive.
What do we call that? Short-lived?
Very.
Very short-lived. 2 plays later, they're in the end zone and back out in front. We always talk about drives, don't we? Does 2 plays count as a drive?
Not really, but that second play was so good. I don't care what we call it. It was enjoyable to watch. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
A good gain on first has them set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. They'll keep it on the ground. Callaway, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Play action. It's Burrow. Sliding out of the pocket. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
They'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. 3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but it's still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for the Bengals TD. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides. So I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
So it's my kind of game. You know that.
That's
Anytime
right.
we have
That's
a defensive battle. But that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play. And the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that gives them a 3-point lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
And they have to try and move past that pick six because now they're dealing with a fourth-quarter deficit, and they need this drive to end in points.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 32-yard line.
Second down and 3. And they'll run on the inside handoff.
Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or 2. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call. The Dolphins on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 9. To throw, it's Rodgers. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. Powering his way forward. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
On 1, ready?
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow.
And he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They'll set up a throw. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. And it's taken in at the 9. We call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. It's complete to Fuller. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now a handoff as they run left side. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
On 1st down, Britt. And some strong running. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
By the way, you'd be looking at about a 47-yarder from here as they come up on an important 3rd down. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And his bid for the 1st down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Right hash mark of 42-yard attempt. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And they've got a 4th down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. Sanders' kick is good. And we are all tied here in the final stages. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
And he returns this to the 22.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Here's Burrow. That would almost intercept it, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down.
nearly an interception. If that one's picked off, it's over. So a new lease on life, so to speak.
A lot of times when you're in coverage, you're so focused on the man and the coverage that sometimes the ball, if it arrives, it surprises you. That may have happened to him in that situation.
Now Burrow.
And this is going to be intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line.
Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the fourth quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Mears used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. Now a handoff here to his running back. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. Give this time to the tailback. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Sanders' kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. He's going to let it fly.
Oh, and that nearly ended it. That should have been intercepted, but he cannot corral it, and that is a lifeline there with third down coming up.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Burrow.
Room to run past midfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Throwing, Burrow.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. A gain of 6 there on first.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And this kick is not going to get there. It's short and no good. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one